What's up, guys? Mickle here, and we have two massively bullish pieces of information to go over in this video. The Ripple and SEC in-person hearing just happened, and it was an absolute beatdown on the SEC. Ripple completely exposed the agency, and the SEC has never looked worse. In this video, I'm going to show you guys what all the different lawyers are saying about this hearing. We're going to look at what Attorney Fred said, Attorney Jeremy, and Attorney Bill. We're going to break down their arguments. I'm going to show you guys exactly why this was such a huge win for Ripple, but most importantly, we're going to talk about when we can finally see the final decision on when the SEC is going to have to hand over the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass emails. Guys, this is fantastic news. You guys are not going to want to miss this. Guys, in my video yesterday, I said we were going to have a piece of good news today and a piece of bad news. I think you can assume what I thought the good news would be. Obviously, it was the Ripple versus SEC in-person hearing. I had no doubt Ripple was going to smoke them. Honestly, it turned out better than I thought, but the bad news actually turned out to be extremely bullish also. That has to do with the Cynthia Lummis new bill proposed in Congress today. Guys, we're going to go over why this bill was such good news, why it beat my expectations by so much, but more importantly, what impact it's going to have on the current Ripple SEC case. Guys, these are both very bullish things. Make sure you stick around for this whole video. Like always, guys, if you are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, as I was making this intro, we actually just got another brand new filing out of Ripple. We'll go over that at the end. But guys, before we get into what the lawyers had to say about this in-person conference between Ripple and the SEC, I want to give you my quick personal thoughts. I was on the entire call, and guys, I am not exaggerating when I say it was absolutely horrendous for the SEC. I tried to take notes on what the SEC's argument was. Guys, I could not even comprehend what the attorney for the SEC was trying to say. This was actually the first time we actually heard from this attorney from the SEC in this case. And let me tell you guys right now, it was a mistake for the SEC to let this lady talk. It seemed like she just got briefed on the SEC's argument today, and it was almost like Judge Netburn was having to help this girl through her arguments. This lady had no idea what she was trying to argue, and Judge Netburn asked her multiple times, please, can you just explain to me in simple terms what your stance is on these emails out of Bill Hinman? And this lady could not give a comprehensive answer. And the reason she couldn't do it is because she knew deep down that the SEC's answer that the Bill Hinman free pass speech is suddenly now SEC guided when they were saying before it was his personal opinion doesn't make any sense. And she was stuttering through the whole argument. She was mumbling. You can tell she was trying so hard not to talk over her words, but in the process, she just kept on doing it. It could not be more obvious based on that hearing that the SEC was just making it up as it goes, and the Ripple lawyer actually called them out for this. Matt Solomon literally said directly to the court, you notice how the SEC changes their argument with each passing hearing. That's because the SEC is not basing any of their arguments on any facts. They're simply making up new evidence as this case goes on. They're fighting each individual argument completely separately from one another, and it's causing them to walk all over themselves. And that is exactly what's happening, and you could tell by the way Judge Netburn was interacting with the Ripple legal team versus how she was interacting with the SEC legal team. You could just tell she was not buying the SEC's argument at all. She seemed to think it was just as absurd as we do and the Ripple lawyers. I don't think there is any way that the SEC is gonna get away with not handing over these Bill Hinman emails to Ripple, and this is gonna force them to settle this case. Guys, the SEC has already gone to such extreme measures to not hand over these emails. I don't think they're gonna hand over these emails under any circumstances. They are gonna have to settle this case. Guys, there has to be something so bad in those emails that the SEC SEC is actually willing to give XRP clarity just to not hand over the emails. And we did a couple videos in the past, and I want to quickly talk about this before I show you what the lawyers are saying. We did a couple videos on how the SEC was trying to flip-flop. Guys, they made it very clear in this hearing that they wanted the judge to let them flip-flop. They said multiple times, oh, well, if the court still believes that is Bill Hinman's personal opinion, then I guess our argument is this. But if the court is willing to change its mind, then we'll move our argument to this. The SEC was begging for an out of Judge Netburn, and she would not let them have it. Guys, Judge Netburn has been patient, but she is being tough on the SEC. She is not going to let them get away with this BS. You could tell as soon as the hearing started, she did not believe the SEC's argument. And let me tell you, that SEC attorney did not do the SEC any favors. I think they walked out of that hearing in worse shape than they entered it. So guys, let's quickly go over what all the different lawyers are saying about this hearing. And it looks like they are all unanimously deciding that this was a huge win for Ripple. We haven't gotten the final verdict in yet. We're still waiting on that. I'll show you guys later when I think that's going to come in, but let's take a look at what Jeremy Hogan said. He said, Ripple versus SEC court hearing. You don't need a law degree to know how the court hearing went, but it's even worse than it sounded. The SEC took a big step backwards on a key issue. Video tonight. So Jeremy Hogan saying it sounded as bad as it was. That was pathetic for the SEC, and kind of like I was alluding to earlier, I think they actually made it worse from themselves. You could tell that Judge Netburn was not buying their arguments, but it seemed almost as the hearing went on, you could tell that the SEC actually kind of talked themselves into a hole. It was bad, and Jeremy Hogan is confirming, yeah, it was really that bad. If we take a look at what attorney Fred said, he actually pointed out something pretty interesting. Like I said earlier in the video, the SEC was essentially trying to perform this flip-flop where suddenly they took the speech that they earlier said was Bill Hinman's personal opinion, and Bill Hinman said it was his personal opinion, and the speech literally said on it was his personal opinion. They were trying to say that was no longer his personal opinion, and it was SEC guided. Fred pointed out, and so did the Ripple lawyers during this hearing, if the SEC actually believed that the speech was not Bill Hinman's personal opinion and was SEC guided, then why does the current SEC commissioner, Gary Gensler, not respect the fact that Bill Hinman said Ethereum was a non-security? Gary Gensler has come out and said that the status of ETH is still up in the air and he believes it's a security. So why is Gary Gensler contradicting what past SEC chair said? It clearly shows that what Bill Hinman said was not agency policy, and the current SEC commissioner is currently acting like it was Hinman's personal opinion. So that means not only did the SEC already accidentally admit to the court that it was Bill Hinman's personal opinion, not only did Bill Hinman give a sworn affidavit that it was his personal opinion, not only did the speech say it was his personal opinion, but the SEC is currently acting and going forward like it was his personal opinion. It shows how absurd the SEC's argument was and why Judge Netburn did not buy it in the slightest. So guys, now let's quickly take a look at what Attorney Bill had to say. He has been extremely accurate in this case so far. He said, well, the hearing is over and the SEC's oral submissions seem as weak as their letter and reply letter, and Attorney Solomon correctly drew attention to the lack of recorded evidence showing the dominant purpose of the speech and documents was to seek and obtain legal advice, essentially pointing out that the SEC tried to make these claims and brought absolutely no evidence to why the court should actually reverse their decision. The SEC essentially went in there and just complained that the court was doing a bad job, absolutely no evidence, and then went on to say it's about the evidence and the SEC should lose this battle on the record of evidence available to the judge. No sure things are in litigation, but I would be surprised, bordering on shocked, if the SEC wins. Guys, Bill has been very conservative, so that is a big statement out of him. Fred just went on to say and to point out how absurd the SEC's argument is making. In this part right here, I'm not going to read it word for word. The SEC has never taken any action to adopt the speech, literally counteracting everything they said today. And Fred said because of things like this, he thinks that this ruling is going to come very soon, and we should see the ruling by next week. So that's a very good sign, because the sooner sooner the SEC is locked into handing over these documents to Ripple, the sooner this thing is going to settle. Guys, I would be absolutely shocked if the SEC actually handed over these emails to Ripple. I think what the SEC might try to do is appeal this decision. I don't see that lasting very long. We know that Judge Torres shut them down last time. I think she's going to shut them down again. And I think once that happens, the SEC is going to be out of places to run. So guys, now time for the big surprise of the day. That was actually the new bill out of Cynthia Lummis. This was actually extremely good news. I was very pessimistic on it. I thought Senator Lummis was too much of a Bitcoin maxi. I thought she was going to say Bitcoin's a commodity, everything else is a security. But it turns out she's actually saying everything's a commodity. She's saying that most projects will actually have to go to the SEC and say, hey, this is what we're doing. But once the token's out there, it's a commodity. Guys, that is good enough for me. I was expecting something really bad. This isn't perfect. Do I wish the SEC wasn't involved at all? Of course, but the assets themselves, those are commodities, and I actually think it's not a bad thing if these companies go out and do some extra disclosures. It's not going to hurt anything, and at the end of the day, guys, we're just looking for a level playing field. This is what this creates, and I think it's a great step in the right direction. It shows that we're not going to be getting Bitcoin maxi bills. We're going to be getting a level playing field, and guys, based on what this bill says right here, this would make XRP in no doubt a commodity, and it just puts the SEC's case against Ripple even more to shame and just shows how pointless it really is. And last of all, guys, there's a brand new filing out of Ripple. This had to do with the SEC refusing to answer such easy questions like, hey, in this speech, in this video of Bill Hinman, was this Bill Hinman? Hey, you made this statement about Bitcoin. Can you confirm you made this statement? The SEC responded saying, oh, we don't know if that's Hinman. Oh, we don't know if that's Bitcoin. Essentially, Ripple is coming back in this statement and saying, look, the SEC is the one who sued us. It is absolutely absurd that they are not answering these questions. I think Ashley Prosper is spot on. She said, if we're lucky, we may get both the attorney-client privilege and this issue resolved by this same time next week. I think this one will be granted in part, and the attorney-client privilege issue will be a slam dunk for Ripple. I think this is going to be one of those rulings that Judge Netburn groups together. She's going to give Ripple a huge win, where the SEC needs to hand over all the emails to Ripple and then give the SEC a little layup and say, look, you can keep pretending you don't know who Bill Hinman is. Anyway, guys, great day for XRP holders, great day for Ripple, and I think we are so much closer to closing this thing out once and for all. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you all had a good day, but for now, Mickle out.